Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. So I am here in Breeze Home, as you can see. I got this quest for the companions. Hold on. Stealing plans. We've heard rumors of a Silver Hand lieutenant camped at Fort Fellhammer. If I could steal their plans, we could track down their chief hideout. Show that on the map. Okay, it's not that far from Whiterun. So we're going to go to Fort Fellhammer. I'm going to take Lydia
Still
with me.
here.
Hey, oh, you're currently following me. Alright. What time of day is it? 9:50 a.m. Good time to get started on a quest. I'm not going to be playing this for super long, as I got some other stuff to do before I have to head out, because I have a show that I'm organizing and hosting tonight with this band called Apple of Basilisk. They're from Toronto. They're kind of cool, like, post-black metal meets grindcore sort of situation. So yeah, that show is going to be fun. My friends Obelisk are playing with them. They're kind of like a death sludge band. Probably my favorite band in Montreal, if I'm being honest. I just love their riffs, love their music. They are fantastic. And then Tachyon also, who are Blackened Screamo. And that band is also sick. Very cool. I've only booked them once before, and they were really sick, so it's going to overall be a pretty cool show. I'm looking forward to it. But I still have stuff to do before then, and part of that is playing this so I can upload it to the channel before I head to Newfoundland this weekend. You know, I've been thinking about stuff a lot lately. I've been thinking about whether or not I'm actually happy in life. I realize that's pretty heavy subject matter to talk about while playing Skyrim, of all things, but I don't know, especially playing a game like this, it really, I don't know, it's something that this countryside, this world, makes me think about, but, you know, also the real world makes me think about. And the thing is, I've asked myself a lot, am I happy lately? And the answer is ultimately no, like I'm not. Now, why am I not happy? I really don't know. I have, I'm in a long-term relationship. I have a roof over my head, a job that pays my bills and provides for me and my family. Um, even though I lost my vehicle recently, I've been lucky enough and privileged enough to be in a position to afford to even have one in the first place, which a lot of people, especially in this day and age, can't really say. So that's also cool. I'm in two bands that have done exceedingly well for themselves, even though we're, technically, I guess I would say still on the local level. Um, I've toured in Mexico with one of those bands. We're talking about going to Europe next year, maybe. I've done countless tours across Canada with both of those bands, whether it be out east or out west into Ontario. And I've played so many shows here, opening for a lot of really cool bands with some pretty hefty name recognition. Whether that's Savage Master or Fulci or what have you. So, why the hell am I not happy? And I think the reason, or at least a big reason for it, is very self-inflicted. I have this tendency to get into these habits, these routines that I have a very hard time breaking out of, even when ostensibly on the surface they would seem to be good things. Like, I try to upload to this channel, for example, on a regular basis, and that's one of the routines that I've got myself in. Am I going the right way? Yes. I have several blogs that I update on a regular basis. I like to film shows and such, and I like to upload the videos of those shows to YouTube on a regular basis. I have a lot of different I have a lot of fingers in a lot of pies, so to speak, and I think I've ultimately come to realize that um, doing that and overloading myself with shit has caused me to be very unhappy. So that's why I think within the next couple of years, I'm going to drastically scale back the amount of stuff that I'm doing. And that doesn't mean that the things I'm doing are going to go away necessarily. Like, I don't want to stop this channel. I like doing this. I like recording myself playing games and having fun, and plus it really fits into the archival nature of my personality. As that's the thing. It's like, I've long suspected for several years now, like ever since the pandemic happened basically, that I am autistic, a certain breed of autistic. And I've never been officially diagnosed by like a doctor or anything like that, so I can't really come out and officially say beyond a shadow of a doubt that is what's going on. But, you know, I have reason to suspect because of certain quirks in my personality. One of those quirks is... Whoa, hey, get out of my face, dude. I'm not talking to you. One of those quirks is archivism, because I really like keeping records. I like keeping records of everything I've said and done, and I guess maybe not said. That would be a little bit much, but I like keeping records of, you know, all the different shows I've played. Oh god, Dragon Time. Yeah, distract them. So I guess I gotta fight this dragon before I can continue my tangent. He's just gonna go over there. Is he fighting a giant? Probably. You gonna come back here or no? Alright. Oh, now you're back here. Okay. Maybe we can take him down to his health to where he won't fly away at least. Yeah, there we go. He's not going anywhere now. Yeah. Give me your soul. I don't know what that other enemy was over there, but I'm not even going to bother with it. Take all this stuff, don't mind if I do. Alright, let's continue on the path, Lydia. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, I'm a very archival person. I like keeping records of everything, which is why I started the blog Heavy NFLD, because I don't know, I grew up in a town where there was basically no music scene to speak of, and music is something that's very important to me, especially extreme, heavy, and alternative forms of music. That's my bread and butter. You know, that's the kind of stuff that I like playing. It's the kind of stuff I like listening to, at least for the most part. It's not like that's the only thing. But in my hometown, there's no music scene to speak of. It's a tiny-ass town of 2,000 people. So when I moved to St. John's and discovered that there was a huge scene there, I was like, oh my god, why did I not hear about this like on the internet? Why is nobody talking about all of these really cool bands here that seemingly are being completely ignored by the rest of the country. So I decided to start that blog as a means of archiving things and preserving things for future generations. Now, I started that shit 9 years ago at this point, and a lot of stuff has transpired since then, including stuff like in my life, just like I'm in a different place in my life now, you know? And I'm not saying that stuff isn't as important to me as it once was, but I don't have the space for it in my life as I once did. So, as time has gone on, I've become a lot less invested and interested in keeping that a regular aspect of my life. So, where am I going with this? Basically, I'm just saying that there's a lot of things that I've done out of force of habit for a long time now that I think I'm just going to stop doing, because I've realized finally that it is actually the source of my unhappiness and my lack of contentness in this life. And you only live once, and why the fuck am I going to sit around on my ass, wasting my time, doing shit that I don't give a fuck about? I already do that at my job, my shitty job that has nothing to do with anything I'm interested in, and in fact flies in the face of everything I believe in. That I already spend, upwards of 30 or 40 hours a week doing. I already devote so much of my time to that just to afford to keep a roof over my head and to pay my bills and such. Why the hell am I doing other stuff that is also just detracting from my life, There's no point. It is a waste of time. And one of these days, if I'm lucky enough, I'll live to a ripe old age and I'll look back on the balance of my life, and am I gonna sit here and regret that I didn't do X, Y, and Z? I really, really hope not. I really hope that the time comes where I will look back on the balance of my life and say, I don't regret these things that I did. I don't regret... the frame rate is going to shit. I should probably save. Hold on. 1 second. Okay. I had to do something on the computer there that hopefully improved the frame rate and made it not so ass. And I think it did. I think it worked. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I want to be able to look back on the balance of my life and say, I'm glad and proud. I'm proud of the things that I've done. I'm proud of the things I believed in and what I did with the time, the limited amount, the short period of time that I have been gifted here on this earth. The fleeting life that we all have. So that's why I realized, I had to take a step back from that stuff. Now the thing is, I've built up several... I don't like calling them brands, but we'll say brands because I think that's just a good shorthand term for them. I've built up several brands that I don't want to just get rid of and throw to the curb because they've cultivated quite an audience. So I'm not gonna, step back permanently, but I am going to start handing over the reins to other people who have more time and care more deeply about this stuff than I have the energy to. But then I started thinking about it, and I was like, well, if that's the case, are there other aspects of my life that make me feel this way? And the truth of that is that, yes, there are. There's several, in fact. I don't like my job, like I already said. I mean, I think a lot of us can speak to that. How many people out there actually say, yeah, I actually really love my job. I love the thing that I devote 40 hours a week to. It sucks up all my time and energy, even though I don't give a fuck about it, and it doesn't give a fuck about me. I think you'd have to be insane to feel that way, unless it was a job that actually, matters and makes a difference in the lives of people and the world at large. And I thought about it, and I'm just like, do I even really like where I live and how I live? And the truth of that is that no, I don't. Like, don't get me wrong, I am very lucky to have the apartment that I do, because if you saw it, you'd be like, oh wow, that is actually kind of crazy that you have that. Damn, Lydia. Harsh. Come on. Sorry, I have a hard time talking while I'm also trying to concentrate on combat. Is that it? That's all of them, eh? Okay. That's it, that's all, folks. But yeah, I just kind of realized that I don't really enjoy living in the city all that much anymore. Like, I enjoy living in a city for the opportunities that it provides, you know, especially if you're a musician, living in a small town and trying to get out there and gig and to cultivate an audience for your music. Like, it's not impossible, but you're going to have a much easier time living in an arts and culture center like Montreal than you ever will living in a place like the town that I'm from. So that's one thing. But then the other thing is like, well, you know, does it even really matter having an audience of people? Like, you should be making music for yourself. If you're a musician or you're an artist, like, I'm not trying to tell you what to do or anything, but at least for me, I perceive it as being like, I'm making music that I want to hear, and that's the reason why I like it so much. Okay, I need to concentrate while I kill this guy, because he's always fucking really difficult. If memory serves, anyways. Get him, Lydia. Yeah.